All right, Homesteader family, welcome back to the journey with Mickey Mouse and yours truly, Johnny Jules. So, I'll show you what I did inside here. Everybody's down there fighting ET and ET and Casper like normal. So, here in the shed, this is what I got done so far. So, I went ahead, got that other cabinet hung. I went ahead, got all this insulation done all the way back here to the bathroom. I have 7 more to do, 4 on this side, 3 on this side. And then, of course, I still got to do all the walls. I got all the plywood up over here, got the plywood up over to here. So the only thing left on the plywood to do is cut the holes wherever I want them. I left enough wires in between where the screws are, so I know there's enough wire in between each stud. And then that way I can go ahead, cut the holes, and put in the outlet boxes and the outlets, and then run the breaker box and all that. So went ahead, got a cabinet hung right here. I got this cabinet right here with the countertop, that countertop and cabinet. I went ahead, cut those pieces today. Got the stove pushed in right there, and then of course that hole right there will be for the fridge and freezer. So of course I'll cut an outlet for there, an outlet above there, outlet underneath that cabinet, and an outlet underneath that cabinet. So then that way I can do the microwave. I'll move my Keurig over here now because it doesn't fit. It's hanging over the sink. Appreciate it, Scott Smith. Appreciate it. It is. It's starting to come together. Everything's getting nicer and nicer. And for those of you that have been worried about me, I do have a fire extinguisher. It just wasn't on the wall. And I do have a carbon monoxide smoke detector with smart technology. So it knows if it smells smoke but no carbon monoxide, it's a false alarm. And it knows if carbon monoxide happens before smoke, whatever that smart technology is, it will do all that. So I'm actually going to be moving that back there up top since the heater's back there. And the stove, the propane, will be turned off. For those of you that don't know, when I lived off-grid in my 2-story house in Colorado, I talked about the difference. I didn't show it. But a regular propane tank on a stove, if you leave the pilot light running, you go through it in 28 days. When I only turned the gas on, the propane gas on, when I needed the stove, that same bottle lasted me almost 3.5 months. So that's the difference of a pilot light, how much fuel a pilot light burns. So by me turning it off outside on the backside of the shed, I'll, of course, have to walk out, turn it on, come in here, light the burners. But the thing is, it's going to save me so much money. And then also, I don't have the gas running here inside the shed at any given time. It's always shut off. So I'll have the smoke detector out there once I get that wall finished. So this is what I got done in here. Of course, for those of you that didn't see the floor, there's the floor. I got it done all the way to the bathroom, and then I'll continue that way. I could put a valve inside, but I'd rather have it shut off outside, so if something happens inside, somehow if it gets punctured with dogs jumping around, I don't have the gas leaking inside the shed. That's a millennial thing. We think about everything. Oh, it is a huge difference, you said, to place it. So that's where I place it. I did what it said. Like I said, it's 6 inches lower. We got Chunk here. He got himself a drowned bird. Like I said, all the birds go to the dogs when they drown themselves. That's why I can't wait to get the pond going. And just got everybody fed. So here's all the emus, the birds. There's Sexy Rex down there chomping on some leaves. And of course, Chubbs and Max and all of them go over and see him. You can see the one white peacock right up over there. The others are somewhere. And then we'll go down and check out the piglets. So I never got around to trying to divide the pen up. Like I said, I will eventually be building a bigger pen and multiple pens for the pigs, but I just don't have the time with everything else going on. So it's just little by little. And then of course all the cows, the donkey, Stubbs, the Zorse. Everybody just hanging out, doing their thing. Just got done eating dinner. So I went ahead, fed before I started filming. So that way they were taken care of. And then here's all the pigs they're eating. The goats already ate and they're off in the woods somewhere, chomping down on stuff. So let me come over here. I'll hop in the pen and we're getting here, see the piglets. So everybody's in here chomping away. What's up, Piggly? So there we go. We got all the little sleepy piglets. If I bring some blankets out, then I'll have some pigs in the blanket. And I hear they taste really good. Right, pigs? And then, of course, down in here, we got piglets all over. There's the other one. There's that black and pink one that people had a hard time seeing. And the black spotted one. But there they go. They're doing good. Nobody's messing with them. Mama's taking care and checking. And that's that. And then the only other thing I got done this week, which is really nice here compared to Colorado, is the fact you don't need trespassing signs out here, which costs a bunch of money. Hey, that's enough. So in Arkansas, which I'm sure there's other states that do it as well, if you have purple paint on your property line, if somebody is caught inside of those purple markings, all you got to do is call the law and they get arrested and fined. And then if they cut wood, shoot a deer or anything else inside the purple dots, then it's a huge hefty fine. And if they do any type of damage to your property, you can actually go after the person and get reimbursed for the damage that they do by cutting a tree down or taking something off the property. So I went ahead, I bought a gallon of oil-based paint, and that was the last thing that I did. And there's all the goats back in that part of the woods. So you can see they've cleared all of these woods all the way down, all the way to the mailbox. You can see the bark on the trees just stripped. So they're working their way down the property. They're doing what they're supposed to be doing, because I'm going to be doing the fence coming down. I got to figure out how far off the road I want to go. I'm trying to think how far back I want to sit with the 6-foot fence, because I do want everything private most of the year when the leaves and everything are up. So you can see all the purple splotches on the trees. And next time when I buy more paint, I'm gonna get a paint sprayer and not do it with a little tiny roller, because that was a pain in the butt doing this all the way down. Like I said, I've got 2,700 feet, something like that, of this road front. So I did this whole front, and then I did back by my T-post and worked on that. So, and these guys come out in the road. They're slowing traffic down, but they do get out the road when the trucks come. So they're loving it. They will never, never be hungry goats with all the land I have. And then I met my neighbor across the street here. He owns 465 acres. So I know everybody that joins my property now, or across the roads from me as well. Now let me go back and see everybody's messages. Scott Smith, do you plan on planting a garden? You have a good supply of compost. Yes, in the future, that is a goal. I want to have fruit trees put in. I want to do bamboo. Everything I had planned in Colorado, flower gardens, bees for honey, that all will come. It's just a matter of getting things done. So the biggest part is getting more and more of the 6-foot fencing up, so that way I have more space for the other animals. Since the goats are free range, I can knock them out of this area, let the horses, Zorse, everything come in here, the camels, and then do the next big section. And then, like I said, it will be rotational grazing. So the pens that they're in now, I will seed heavily in spring when they get moved over here. Let all that stuff grow up 6 feet, 5-6 feet in those pens. Then they'll go from here to the next pen. I'll seed all this area, let this grow up 5-6 feet, and then start taking them back to the original pens and do that as I do more and more fencing, more pens all the way through the property. And that's why I said I'm not sure how far back I want to come. You can actually, as you can see right here, the person that had this corner lot that I did a land swap for, you can actually put the fencing right here on the edge of the road here in Arkansas where I'm at. But I don't want to do that. I want to, like I said, push it back so all this stuff is all grown in and you won't be able to see the animals. I just got to figure, 25, 50, 75, 100 feet. So I'll have to measure and figure out exactly how far I want to go. So all Rex. Yep, Rex is the best. At Scott Smith won't have much left if Johnny starts selling that black gold to the public. No, I've had a lot of people tell me that they would buy the manure from me because supposedly the soils are bad here in Arkansas, which it is really rocky. This is all what's underneath this ground, is all this rocky stuff. However, I mean, look how much stuff grows. Plus, I'm an alien, so anything I plant, works. And that's like when I bought the seeds, the wheat seed and all that stuff, and started seeding, they told me that here you have to drill, just like they told me in Colorado, you have to drill and plant the seed. But let me go up here where I just hand toss the seed, and I'll show you the difference of regular people planting seeds and an alien planting seeds. Because all I do is throw it by hand. And we're going to come right up here where I threw all the seed. I mean, you can see some of it, everything out here, the goats are clearing out again. But in here, where it's protected, you can see, I mean, just look at all that luscious green. So, I won't have any problem planting. And, I mean, look at that. That's the size of my hand where the roots are. That's already 8 inches, 10 inches long right there of grass. So once I'm able to fence more pens, get the animals out of these areas and let everything grow where the goats aren't devastating it again, then, all that will just grow and grow and grow across this whole property. Purple paint works in North Carolina too. I know back east, paint works for a lot of different states. Colorado, you have to have the posted sign. Hey, Sandra, how you doing? I'm doing good. You use loppers to cut the small saplings at ground level. Helps clear the forest area. I did do that in this area, which I found out the hard way, because as the ground and leaves disappear, then you got these little stumps that I keep tripping over. So I've got to dig those out. The reason I'm not cutting these down is because the goats use them for rubbing against. The cows love rubbing against them. And then, of course, they're eating all the bark and stuff off of them. And that white layer, the xylem or whatever, between the bark and the wood, that on like pine trees and stuff is a survival food that Native Americans survived on. So, I mean, just like right now, they're chomping down on that. So I want leave whatever's standing. If they kill it or knock it over, break it off, that's fine. Then I'll use it in building hygge culture beds eventually. But for now, if it does come back in the spring, whatever does come back, then that's new leaves, which is more forage for the animals. So that's why I'm not cutting anything down quite yet. Thank you, Andreas. I appreciate it. So if anybody's got any other questions, I'll answer them real quick. If not, then I'm going to call it a day, because us millennials, even with daylight, we don't work. We just go lay down and watch TV. So that's my goal, is I'm going to go relax the rest of the night because I've done a bunch of driving. And then I heard from the bank today. I got my closing details. So I'm supposed to be closing on my loan now on the 24th, which is Tuesday, I believe. So that's going to be awesome because then I can go ahead, get the ranch paid off, get the fencing people paid off in Colorado that I was dealing with. I've got like 16 grand in credit cards to get paid off, rent the excavator, dozer. I'm going to buy a big grain feeder that the feed company is going to bring in and put by my gates. It will save me over $1 per bag of the 50-pound bags by having them deliver it. And that's with delivery fee and everything. So I go through 8 bags a day. So right there, that's over $8 a day I'll be saving by having it delivered. Now, it will take me about a year until I break even on the feeder because the feeder is almost $3,000. But after the year, then I'm saving money, and these guys will be happy. Right, Goose Goose? Right. Yeah. No elk for you. They stay on the outside. Yes, the emus laid eggs. Don't you turn off the video this time, you hear me? No. The emus laid eggs in Colorado. I collected a bunch. I put them in the cabinet incubator that I had. However, they needed less moisture and less heat than chicken eggs. And since chickens were what I was selling rapidly, I ended up probably cooking the eggs, let alone the emu eggs were out in the snow and ice and everything else in Colorado. So I think they probably also died from that before I could get them. So I'm hoping in this nice weather that I can go ahead and just let them sit on the eggs and hatch out baby emus, because I already have people that want to buy baby emus from me. Plus, it'd be nice to have more birds to eat up all the bugs and everything else. And we're going to go over here and see Mr. Stud Muffin, because he's back here just hanging out. What are you doing over there? Huh? What are you doing, Mr. Rex? You just relaxing? You just relaxing, Rex? Yep. Just a handsome stud. You silly boy. They don't want to see that on video. No, they don't. Thank you, James. I appreciate it. So there's a handsome man. He's a lazy butt. Just hangs around. Does his thing. There goes the peacock. And here comes Henry. And Mama Turk. Well, Scott Smith, I'm not in AK. That would be Alaska. I'm in AR, which is Arkansas. And no, the animals that I have, I don't need licenses for. That's why I chose Arkansas. I can also own monkeys here, raccoons, foxes, all different other animals as well. So I don't plan on really getting many more animals. I do want to get a female kangaroo in the future for Rex. I do want a monkey. So if I get a monkey, I'll need 2 monkeys because I don't like just one of any animal. And I'll probably get a bunch more guineas and chickens and all that stuff when the ranch sells, so that way the woods are cleared of all the ticks and bugs and everything else. So and there's Bird Tree, slowly filling up. Everybody's working their way. No, I have not reduced the price on the ranch. The reason I have not done that is because California was burning down, Oregon's burning down, Washington's burning down, and Colorado's burning down. So all those people, or the rich people, they have everything insured, so they'll get the money back, and they're not going to want to build in a burn scar again. So they're going to look for new property. So that's only going to make my property more valuable, because not only do I have 50 acres, it's fully fenced, but I also have the big pond and everything on it. So that's something a lot of properties in Colorado don't have, because you're not allowed to just build a pond in Colorado. And then we got lazy Mr. Monks. So with that, I'm going in. I hope everybody has a great night. They're calling for rain 6 out of next 10 days. So we'll see how that goes. If it rains, I won't be getting nothing done. But that's that. So this is the homestead here in Arkansas. And can't wait to get things moving. So have a good night. I'll talk to you guys later.